where the Heidelberg Student Princes will take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: the First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. Welcome inside the Ohio Northern University Sports Center as we get ready for a battle of a 3-3 Heidelberg Student Princes team and taking on the 2-3 Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Mike Hurd and Rich Bensman. And Rich, these kind of games early on, you look at what Heidelberg has done so far. They're 3 wins. It's the most that they've had under their current head coach in any consecutive season. The Bears are 2-3, but they played a big non-conference schedule. How much in these kind of games where people maybe will look at it on paper because of what Northern has done, they've won 10 straight in the series, and say, maybe this is one of those kind of early on trap games. How do you avoid that going into a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, every game has its own life, and you got to make sure that the players understand that. And, you know, we always, and I know it's a cliche, one at a time and never look behind and never look forward. And we always talked about every game has its own life.
Polar Bears received 4 points in this week's coaches poll. They had 7 last week, coming off a loss a week ago, but a massive win against John Carroll on Saturday, 58-38. Have you ever done a team or done a game in which your team had 61 rebounds, though, in a game and had a nearly 30 rebound advantage?
Yeah, that was a big key to that game, too. Mike, I'll tell you, they had the offensive boards in the first half. They had 9. They had 7 of them in the first quarter. And I think that might have been something that Coach Huell's been stressed at halftime. Back up.
Back here inside at Campoli Court at Ohio Northern University as we get ready for this OAC matchup. Polar Bears 1-0 in league play. Student Princes coming in at 3-3. They're 0-1 in OAC contest. Take a look at what Heidelberg did under 10th head coach in program history, and Rachel Meese in her fourth year. 9 wins and 60 losses. Got drilled by Marietta on a Saturday, 87-51 at Lima Cedar product Cheyenne Bean. 13 points for her fourth double-figure game this year. And she is going to be somebody, Rich, that the Ohio Northern Polar Bears are going to have to try to keep off the boards. A big third quarter, kind of we talked about with Northern in their last game, but it went the other way with Heidelberg, where they suffered kind of a bad opening, a bad third quarter. The opening, they lost 12-0 right out of the gate, just kind of lost control of the game. But if you're down 49-28 at the half, I mean, you look at those kind of games, what do you have to say? I mean, at any point, do you have to say a lot with an older team?
Well, whether you're up big or you're down big, a lot of philosophies are there's nothing more least important than the score at halftime. Sometimes you got to let that go, and you got a second half coming. I've been in a situation before where we've been up, and they've narrowed the gap. Also been in a situation where we've been down, and we narrowed the gap. So, you know, just like I said before, each game has its own life. So does sometimes each play and each half.
Heidelberg comes in averaging 69 a game. They give up 69.2. They'll have Alicia Carter, the 5'4" junior, wearing number 5. Chloe Gilbert wearing 13, a 5'8" junior at 13.8 points per game. Emma Keto, 5'4" junior at 4.3, wearing 21. Morgan Altenberger at 12.3 points a game, but it's the defensive rebounding, which has been her key. 9 a game, a 5'10" junior wearing 23. And Cheyenne Bean at 24, 9 points, 11 rebounds for the 6-foot Lima Cedar product in her sophomore year. On the other side, it could be a very special night for one Ohio Northern fifth-year senior. Bryn Serban comes in just 14 points away from 1,000 in her career. Why? Because she does everything. Wearing number 3, she's got Jada Benjamin in the backcourt, a 5'7" junior, along with Layla Dials, a 5'7" junior at 5 points, 5 rebounds a game, wearing 12. Abby Akamine, the 7.2 point per game scorer, the 5'7" junior, wears 13. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Bears in their white jerseys, her high school coach, Troy Yant, and his entire family, and most of her family, are sitting behind me. And Peyton Warnicki, the 5'9" senior, as it'll be Cheyenne Bean against Brooke Allen in the opening. We'll get to the keys here in just a second. Polar Bears win the toss, so they will move left to right here in the first half. And their head coach, Mark Hilsman, said that we need to limit Heidelberg's transition points. Sakamine to the basket for 2. Great start.
Yeah, Mike, a lot of things are predicated off the drive for Northern.
So right out of the gate, putting 10 seconds on the path, but finishing out the Bears. Keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Limit the transition points for Heidelberg. Rebound the ball well at both ends. And this seems pretty simple. Charles Barkley said it's the easiest thing to do in basketball. Make some shots.
And Northern comes out in that man-to-man defense. They kind of play a pack line. They really muddy up the gaps. They do a great job in gap protection.
Forces a deep 3 from Emma Keto that was way off the mark. And a great defensive position. There we go on the first. Looking at the Keyhole Pizza keys to the game up for head coach Rachel Meese. I stopped because her email says something different than what the actual sheet says. Her keys: great ball movement to create open looks, to knock down some shots against ONU's defense, win the battle of the boards, not let ONU get second chance opportunities like they do here with Peyton Warnicki. And then team defense to try to shut down Serban and Brooke Allen.
That was really key, Mike, in the second half with John Carroll. The Polar Bears did a great job on the offensive glass.
Bears trying to work down inside for Allen with the clock down to 6 on the shot. Her turn with the right hand, and a good job for Heidelberg to sort of pack it in defensively. The ball thrown too fast and too high for Bean. First of what Heidelberg averages at 17 turnovers a game.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to get out and go there, and a little bit of an errant pass. Otherwise, that might have been a transition basket.
So we'll come back the opposite way with the Bears on the offensive again. Feed inside, and a great pass from one of the all-time assist leaders at Northern in Serban. And you hook Brooke Allen up. It's a 4-0 lead for ONU at 8:15. Free ball from the corner, short again for Alicia Carter. She's a pretty good shooter at 6 of 13, but just would not drop. Another no look, and here comes ONU again, trying to go up 6-0, and they do. Layla Dials, and it goes to show you how important Bryn Serban is, because she sort of creates that on the high right wing of, is she going to drive? We have to move somebody, and it leaves Dials, who's a great shooter, especially from 2 feet in, an opportunity.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bryn will do that. Sometimes she's in a position on the basketball floor they can't leave to help, and that creates the driving lane for Northern.
There's Serban with another drop down underneath for Allen. That'll be too strong. Serban, well, why not? She averages 6 rebounds a game, and she's 5'5". Akamine to the basket, and it's a big lead for Northern and an 8-0 lead. First National Bank scoreboard has been abused by Ohio Northern so far here in the opening. We'll stay here and just kind of look at this matchup a little bit more in depth with the media timeout, but brought to you by Precision Strip. And if you get a start like that, if you're Mark Hillsman, you have got to just be over the moon right now.
Yeah, I mean, and again, their offense is predicated on 2 things, really. A lot of dribble drive, and you can see Akamine already got a couple of nice drives to the basket. They also do a great job of playing inside-out basketball, so they want to get a post touch. And they've done a great job of sticking to what they like to do offensively. Defensively, they're in that pack line defense where they do a great job of what I used to call crowding the floor. There's always a defender in a great help position, kind of muddying up the driving lanes. Pretty decent with their active feet and active hands. Ohio Northern does a great job with that.
Get a look inside of Heidelberg's huddle there a second ago. What coach is telling her teams. Heidelberg, I thought this was kind of an odd thing. If this game stays a big defensive battle, Northern has a huge advantage if they're able to hold Heidelberg under 39 points. Heidelberg's never won a game. They're 0-22. However, the more likely scenario is that they'll be somewhere higher, but I don't know why. Just kind of one of those odd things. If they score less than 50, they're 4-113.
Yeah.
Try to hold them down, I think, is what Northern's going for.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. And Ohio Northern probably want to get this into a half-court affair as well.
So we'll see what the Polar Bears do. You see it as Christmas night in the student section, and a great night for the band. They are here. They are rowdy and loud. A couple of Santa hats over there as well, and they always do a great job of providing the atmosphere. As we'll get the first sub coming up for Heidelberg in a second. Bean, I was going to say shot block, but Allen maybe a little bit of the fingertips, and it'll put Cheyenne at the free throw line.
You can see what Ohio Northern wants to do there when they go down in the block. They dove the guard down. Bryn kind of dove down, and once she put it on the floor, Bryn was right there to kind of give her a little bit of a contest.
Grace Dean back into the lineup for the first time in this game. Cheyenne Bean, 16 of 31, but it's offensive rebounding where she shines. Free throw no good. It'll make her a 50% free throw shooter on the year. Started out her year, she had 18 rebounds against Bluffton. And it's not like Tiffin's that far away, but anytime you're closer to home, Bluffton or Ada, you want to kind of try to show out for your friends in attendance. First point of the ball game comes at 7:03. Northern and Serban now trying to work, and a little hide the ball play up in a scoop.
So they got in a situation where Heidelberg had a switch on that ball screen, and that's why Bryn had a great opportunity with the mismatch on the drive.
She's only going to take 2 shots here, and I simply don't have enough time to tell you about the accomplishments this young lady has. She's number 1 all-time in steals and 3rd in assists, but just an all-around leader. And she even get the friendly home roll. She's now 13 points away from 1,000. It's only happened 16 times in ONU history. You got to believe folks in Ada are rooting for her to become the next one.
Well, I got another one for you, Mike. She's a pharmacy major.
Hang around for a while. He'll get it done. Also, with that weird COVID year and everything that, kind of happened there. But a terrific leader for ONU. Down to 6:43 in the quarter. Bean came out to set a screen, but nobody seemed to really want to go with her.
Yeah, they're scraping down same side guard.
Deep triple on the left for Joel Persinger, the freshman. Probably would like to have that one back as Serban races into the right front court, leading by 9.
Heidelberg is switching on all ball screens right now on Serban, and that gives her an opportunity to drive.
It's another basket. She's down to 10. That gives her 990 in her career, and that's a big story for Northern to get in this ball game, because if you get her going, you can make it a special night on the scoreboard. Persinger kicks on the top side inside to Bean. Gets it to roll, and she's got all 3 of her team's points. But they've come with about a minute and a half different, and Northern's put up a couple of baskets in the meantime.
Exactly. And they're actually scraping down with Serban, Ohio Northern is, so it's not necessarily the same side guard. So obviously scouting report shows maybe who you can sink down in the guard position.
Kicked out on the run for Akamine, representing Lahaina, Hawaii. Down to 9 seconds on the clock. Now on the drive, the kick into the corner. Shot away for St. Mary's Noel Ruane. Ball missed, and I think Northern didn't, maybe wanted to argue that it hit something, but it ends up being their first turnover. Not without the lack of hustle, though, for Serban, as Mackenzie Soprano in for the first time.
Yeah, Bryn did a nice job of, crashing and kind of sliding in front for that offensive rebound.
Ashley Ballard, who was 5th in the league in rebounding a year ago, checks in, representing Centerville and the Elks for the first time for Heidelberg. Almost halfway through this quarter. Doing a great job on Bean down low is Grace Dean. Not letting her come up for anything, makes her go, well, I was going to say go up and set a high screen, but go up and set an offensive foul.
Ohio Northern did a great job of getting skinny there and kind of getting over the top of that ball screen.
So the 3rd turnover for Heidelberg. Layla Dials, a 5'7" junior, back into the ball game. 12-3. ONU with the lead. They have won 10 straight in this series. Won both games, including a big one here a year ago by 20. Dixon thought maybe about that pull-up.
Dixon did a really nice job against Sean Carroll of dribble penetration.
Feed inside, high off the square. That's 2 for Grace Dean, and the lead now at 14-3. Guys behind me are breaking down the game. They're not thrilled. I love coaches in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Chloe Glenn, the OG product.
There's lots of them, too, Mike, I can tell you that.
Ready to come in for the first. That makes it easier doing this for you, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They're not yelling at you. They're somebody else's problem. Soccer season is over, but that ball kicked right back out anyways.
But those are a lot of the soccer players in that front row in those sweaters over there.
I was trying to remember which one it was, but there is actually a young lady, Sid Hewer, who's actually part of Heidelberg's soccer team. She hasn't checked in yet. Down to 4:13 in the quarter. ONU with a handful of different ball handlers trying to make something work. And here's Dixon playing a little 2-on-1 with Layla Dials. Dials might have gotten away with a carry. Goes inside. Too strong off the glass. Rebound Heidelberg. It'll come right back into the hands of Morgan Altenberger.
Heidelberg went under the ball screen on Dials.
Gilbert. And now eventually back to Persinger, who just had her birthday a couple of days ago. Here's your present. It's going the other way. It's not a great present. People steal and run away from you. All the way to the lane and blocked with the right hand. Ashley Ballard at 5'10", used her height. You know, it's good defense the last couple of possessions for Heidelberg, but they just need a shot to go down.
Yeah. And now Hot Northern's doing a great job of locating the basketball in transition, and then locating their men. So they're players, and they're doing a great job with that.
Common sense says this game will not stay this frantic long. Chloe Glenn with a spin move. Nearly 700 points in her high school career, but not her first 2 of the night. I challenged her to have 15. She just kind of looked at me, laughed, and walked away. Bean works inside on the kick out all the way to the right wing. That looks short. It was off the front of the rim for Ballard.
And it was actually a pretty good look for Heidelberg. They went inside out, and those shots where you get your feet set are pretty decent.
Northern tried a 3 of their own behind the rebound, though.
It's going to be a long night for Heidelberg if they don't get a body on somebody on the block out.
16-3 now, and I know Bill Ruane, who is in the crowd, loved that shot because Noelle got her first points. Her first game of her high school career as a senior, she didn't hit many threes her junior year. She came out and had a 5-for-5 performance. And I asked Bill about it. He said, yeah, she was pretty good. 2:21 left in the quarter. Here she goes, thought about the 3. Almost as if you manifest these things sometimes. Talk long enough about a kid, they might get the ball.
Right.
On the drive, and the inside with the and one opportunity for Ohio Northern and the Willard High School graduate, Layla Dials. That's her 4th point. You look at what she does on the year, just 5 a game. Important to get those kind of players going.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, everything's inside out for Ohio Northern offensively, or it's predicated on the drive.
So the Polar Bears, as a collective, just a couple of ticks under 70%. Layla Dials, who, it's funny because we actually joked about this before, about how the music game has changed from the time that you were driving around 15-year-olds. She's actually voted last year most likely to be given the aux cord to pick the music for this team. So maybe she's who we need to be riding.
Yeah, that might be.
Might be a little bit different than your music, but it's probably a lot more of a beat. Now the quick change, and the bank is open, and Navia Smith, the sophomore. That's the first basket in nearly 6 minutes for Heidelberg.
Ohio Northern's looking for that inside play, post up.
Trying to go to Brooke Allen.
Are those scraping down?
Oh, she went up and under, just a little too much on the turnaround, and now here comes Smith again. Smith is one that can get to the rim in a hurry. He was a 1,000-point scorer and an All-Ohioan. She would be who I would go to right now, kind of stagnant on the offensive side. Yep. Back door, Allen with the foul, and just enough of the space created that Ashley Ballard gets the basket, and after not having a basket for nearly 6 minutes, that's 2 in the last 30 seconds.
Yep. Now, if Heidelberg is gonna scrape down on Allen with the guards, if she kicks it back out and reestablishes a post touch, she can get a deeper and a better post touch, because they're gonna have to close out if she kicks back out. So it might be the second post touch that would be more successful.
So the free throw up and good. Same high school at Centerville High School as Kirk Herbstreit, who maybe has taken a lot of guff for some things he said about Florida State on Twitter.
Serving a little staggered screen there, staggered ball screen for
back
Brent.
out to Akamine for 3. Too strong, and the rebound again. I would go to Smith every time, because she's come in and added a little bit of life right out of the gate. Just a sophomore out of Cincinnati and Schroeder High School. Now down to under a minute now. Ballard nowhere to go. 3 ball, that should be short. I don't know if Dean got a finger on it. That's what I was wondering. Sobrano with a rebound, and here come the Bears with 40 seconds. Good no look over to Peyton Warnicki in the corner. Serban now with a feed down inside. Grace Dean. Akamine on the run. Pulls up off the glass. Soft touch for 2.
That was a great kick out, Mike. And that kind of created the entire, opportunity for the offensive drive for Northern.
I like that they blocked the 3, and she's now got 6. 21-8 here in the first quarter. Bears, who have nearly been outscored at almost every quarter, but the first has been their big quarter. 3 up and in. Tough shot from the left wing.
Contested. Ohio Northern does a great job of closing out with active feet and active hands.
For 3 to end the quarter. Nope. 21-11, a 10-point differential as we go to the end of the first quarter. It's going to be a fast one. When we come back, we'll have a second quarter action here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Look at the Ohio Northern band as they continue to rock it out this close to Christmas. We've got a handful more of the Ohio Northern women, and of course the men as well are up the road in Tiffin at Heidelberg. See if I can tell you what that one is before we go along. But overall, pretty good first quarter for the Bears.
Yeah, I think they're getting what they want to, pretty deliberate on the offense end of the basketball floor. And on the defensive end, they're doing a great job of eliminating second chance points.
So we'll see how the next quarter turns out here. Good quarter, though, for Brewer. or for Persinger rather. She hit that three late in the quarter. Now High Northern comes up maybe a little further on her. She dribbles and goes to the basket. Akamine had to have gotten a finger, or Jada Benjamin, rather, got a fingertip on that. Look at the scoring in the first half here in a second. Bears led for 9:48. Benjamin for three, spins it out. Peyton Wardicke likely to get called for that shove. ONU shot 9 of 20 in the first quarter. They were 0 for 4 from three. Out rebounded Heidelberg 10-8. Heidelberg shot 4 of 11 and 1 for 7.
I'm sure that was addressed at the end of the quarter with Heidelberg because they did a much better job of blocking out.
So the second possession here in this quarter, Persinger on the drive. Out of Worcester and Waynedale High School. And an amusing thing, she's on the floor right now with Ohio Northern's Chloe Glenn, who you see underneath the basket. Those two girls actually squared off in the state semifinals in 2021 with Ottawa Glendorf and Waynedale. There's a three, tried to bank it in. Would have been perfect if it had been Chloe Glenn who got the rebound.
So
Akamine for three, short. I think when you hear that first one go down, you're not going to be able to hear much else because it's going to be loud.
And that was she was pretty wide open too on that transition.
So a lot of different changes quickly. Driving to the basket now, Altenberger tried to pass it across. Akamine comes through with it after the break. Ohio Northern men in the first half with about 7 minutes to go, leading 24-19 up in Tiffin. That'd be pretty good. Mason Suter's got 6. Guy who recruited him's got to feel smart. Ruane with a rebound, keeps it alive for the Polar Bears.
I tell you, that'd be a nice win for the men.
Chloe Glenn had it partially altered. The hands from Morgan Altenberger. I've now figured out who's sitting behind me. It's Morgan Altenberger's parents. It's not that far away. Deep triple. Wow. Emma Quito for three, and now it's Northern who needs a timeout. That lead that was once 10-1 is down to 21-14.
Coach Hillsman kind of saw enough of that. So I noticed they're going over. The last time they went under the screen on Serbin, she had a nice opportunity for a three.
Maybe, and you know, that's the thing that a lot of people talk about is maybe about the unselfishness that she shows at times. So you look at it, and again, she's third all-time in assists, and I believe she's got one already in this ball game. But you look at Bryn Serbin, and she's not afraid to do anything. She actually did. She had an assist in the first quarter. Why is that important, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Because Katie Mengos was in front of her in assists all time. But now she's number 2 in assists in Northern history, and there have been some ballers that have played here.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, when you're the player, that creates other opportunities for other people to get, you know, a touch on the ball.
Ohio Northern men leading 26-22. You look at Rachel Meese, the head coach for Heidelberg, is sitting directly to my right. 3 wins this year, but it shows the improvement of the program because the most amount of wins for this program under her tutelage came a couple of years ago in a 3-22 year. A fascinating journey, though, to get her to Tiffin. She's actually from Rhode Island. Went to Catholic University in Washington, D.C., and now finds herself as a head coach in Tiffin, and she lives in Findlay.
Yeah, that's an interesting dichotomy.
A little bit of around
See, they
the
went
world.
under the screen again on Bryn. If they continue to do that, she'll have that opportunity to step back.
Noelle Ruane from downtown St. Mary's. If you've ever been to St. Mary's, there's a boat parked down there off of the water. That's pretty much where she hit it from. But a foul on the up and under. And I said earlier on, if you're Heidelberg and you're taking Mike Hearn's coaching tips, which she's not, and that's probably a good thing on her part, you give it to Navia Smith and just let her go because she has produced since she's come in.
You know, absolutely. You know, when you have a separator like that, that really helps.
There's a conversation. Yeah, I was confused. They originally said the foul was on Bryn Serbin, and Bryn walked over and said, I was at the elbow. I don't know how you guys think that foul's on me. They eventually corrected it. Free throw up and good for Navia Smith. 1,000-point scorer in high school, like I talked about earlier on. 3-time All-Star, first-team All-Conference, and 4 siblings. It's a busy household. It's both free throws up and good for a young lady who came in just 4 for 12, but you get that kind of confidence, you can do some things.
No, absolutely. Before that 3 of Northern, Heidelberg did a great job, had a nice little run there. Little staggered screen right there for Dixon.
Back to Wayne, you see the confidence brewing. She hit one from pretty far behind the black line straight away. Benjamin, a little left-handed dribble and a look in. Dean, ball fake, goes to the rim and shot. I don't know what happened there.
That was pretty good defense by Heidelberg.
The official, and the second time now that Northern has been hit for a shot clock violation. Layla Dials and Chloe Glenn return. It's nice when you run a play and it works and your head coach can just yell same thing.
Yeah. Well, and being defensively, they did a good job of keeping her feet and kind of making sure she went straight up with the post.
That is nice as the compliments were that I paid Smith. Her head coach just turned around and kind of laughed and put her hand to her forehead of, she dribbled it out of bounds. Best laid plans. Northern feeding in. Bean working on Chloe Glenn.
That's a really good wall off. Yep.
In high school, and another turnover.
Bean does a really good job of walling up defensively.
Serban said, "Here, Mr. Official, you can have that." Officials for tonight: Mike Lampton, Eric Schwab, and Jordan Pringle. Handful of guys. 2 of the 3 I know from high school basketball. 24-16 is the lead right now. Bean working that high line on the free throw. Down to 10, trying to create just an opportunity. Here's Smith for 3. Couldn't bank it in. She's 0 for 5 on the year now. And here comes a Serban, and down goes Bean.
Well, they got a mismatch down low.
Wayne just hot potatoed back and forth.
If we would have reversed the ball or turned the ball to the wing, that would have been
55 seconds left in half number one. A 30-18 lead for Ohio Northern, and another steal and a turnover on the opposite side as we come to the end of the half. Mackenzie Soprano with her first basket gives Northern a 32-18 lead. We've had a lot of turnovers and a handful of baskets for Northern. There's a lot of timeouts have been burned too early on. Bean works the high elbow, stripped away by Akamine. Great defensive play.
Yeah, they're diving down once she puts it on the floor.
Here comes Abby again, shot short.
Little undercut.
She's having a game. She's got 8 as the last ONU score. And there was a period outside of the 2 free throws that were made by Heidelberg where they did not score from the field for 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Akamine at the free throw line. Off the back of the rim and no good. Normally pretty good. She's 4 of 5, now 4 of 6 on the season.
She's done a great job driving the basketball. I think she kind of got a little hesitation move at when it's kick out for a 3. That she sets them up and then she takes a nice drive.
Gets 1 out of 2 to make it 33-18 in 16 seconds. And as the gentleman 2 down from me says, the shot clock is officially off. Now the ball on the tie-up results in another turnover. A dozen turnovers in the first half for Heidelberg, a team that averages 17 a game. That's not been the overall problem because kind of a pace of play sort of thing that it's just not been making shots. Serving for 3. No, offline left. She's missed both of those. When we go into the break, it's a 33-18 lead for ONU. We have got a lot of things to get to, but you see on the scoreboard brought to you by the First National Bank. Northern up 15 at the break here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course. It's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
If you're a veteran, surviving spouse, or a dependent of a veteran, contact Shelby County Veteran Service Commission today. We can help you apply for a wide range of veteran-related benefits that you earned. Shelby County Veteran Service Commission. Veterans helping veterans.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Are you looking
Looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Center in Campoli Court. It is a 33-18 lead for Ohio Northern at the halftime break. We'll get to our stats here at the Health, brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems in just a second. But a big thank you to them, along with the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, and NK Telco for helping us bring you this ball game. Before we get to the stats, kind of look at it, how do you break this first half down?
Well, I can tell you right now, points in the paint is a real big difference. And Ohio Northern's got 26 points in the paint versus Heidelberg 6 points. Also, points off turnovers. Ohio Northern's got 11 points off turnovers. Heidelberg's got 0.
It's probably good that they're giving you those stats. You look at what Northern did the last time out, too, and that was a big thing for their points in the paint. I know was a huge thing. You go back and you look at what they did. They out-rebounded John Carroll 61-37. They had a big edge in points off the bench, but it was 32-12 in the paint, and they had that third quarter. We talked about it. They held John Carroll to a 2 for 12, kind of similar to what they did in the first quarter tonight. Overall, I mean, 6 of 19, obviously not great. 2 of 12 from 3, like you said, 19 to 16 in rebounds. I mean, a lot of things in this game all slant Northern's way, but a 2 of 8 quarter for Heidelberg shooting the basketball in the second. Was there something that you saw that Northern did defensively that was different, or was it just the shots that were being approached were either being rushed or they just couldn't get them to go on Heidelberg's side?
I thought a lot of their shots were contested. I think Ohio Northern did a great job of contesting shots. And, you know, again, sometimes on the post, it's not going to be that first post touch. If you kick it back up, out, and reestablish position, you're going to get a better look, and you're going to get a deeper post touch. So at times, I think they got rushed a little bit trying to get something that wasn't there. So I think Ohio Northern did a great job just as far as contesting shots. And they do a really good job of closing out. They have active feet, active hands. So most of Heidelberg's shots were contested, and I think that was a big part of it. You know, Heidelberg made a little run there, and Coach Hillsman called his timeout, and then the flip side, Northern got it back to, you know, up again pretty big, and then Heidelberg calls a timeout. Each had a message, and I heard her yelling, you know, we're down 10. Keep playing the game.
ONU's got a big stretch coming up. They go to number 9 Mountain Union on Saturday. Never an easy time when you go to Alliance.
Never.
They get Marietta here on the 16th before, and I've joked with a couple of the players and the coaches about this. Before they head to Las Vegas for the holidays. They take on the D3Hoops.com Classic, and I would imagine that Rachel's probably not all that thrilled. First possession turns into a turnover for Heidelberg.
That D3 Hoops Classic's fantastic. A few years ago, both the men and the women, we went down, and it's a great venue.
Anytime you get to go to Las Vegas for a couple of days, they take on Trinity, Texas, ranked number 8 in the country, and also Laverne out of California. And can't say enough thoughts and prayers to the folks in Las Vegas, too, after what happened today. Cheyenne Bean comes away with the rebound, and immediately there's a foul against Ohio Northern. So we've had an active 23 seconds to open the second half. Second foul on Peyton Warnicki, whose dad came by and fist bumped me earlier on. I said, how many games do you think I've done of your daughter? And he said, probably a lot. It's probably over 100. Now, she hit her first 3, though, of her career last year when we were here. 9:24 to go.
She got away with it there.
It's a kick into the corner to 3 off the side of the top of the backboard. You don't see that one very often. Zakamine dribbles into the left front court. Don't forget, you can watch replays of college basketball. Zakamine straight to the basket. But you can watch it on NK Telco. Okay, I'll get this. NK Telco channel cable 160. The 3 threw me off.
Coach Hillsman was not happy with that drive with Akamine. He thought that she got fouled.
Altenberger now 6 of 13. I'll try and read this again. I'll get back to it. Allen with the basketball up top, defended by Cheyenne Bean. Serban for three. Bang.
That's a great job. They were trailing that screen the whole way, and they fought over the top of it. She did a great job of stepping back off of it and hitting that three.
She needed 14 tonight. She's now at 995 for her career. Leads a 15-point charge and a 36-21 lead. Bean works well away from the basketball. She's really developed since her days for Vince Halliday at Lima Senior. But it is Morgan Altenberger who's trying to take things over. Back-to-back starts for her.
That was a nice Laker cut off the post touch.
Channel 3 and 503. You can watch this game on December the 20th is inside. Brooke Allen 4-2. That's her first, and she made it a 4-0 game early in the first. That comes, by the way, Channel 3 and 503 at noon on December 20th and the 21st. Shot spins in and around. Being great rebound. It won't go. Got another rebound, a little up and under on the soft toss. And you got to like when you're big, helps out a little like that. Not only did she draw three defenders, but she said, here, Alicia Carter, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a lot of times with Allen, they're going to just seal like they just did. But the trip before that, they made a little cross screen so she could kind of have some movement to free her up a little bit.
And Akito picked it up under the elbow. Cheyenne Bean trying to keep it away. This game will air on Channel 160 on Thursday night, or the NKT.TV app or NK Telco cable channels. You can also find more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And a rebound turns into a second part of this possession as Bean went to go up. Peyton Warnicki tied her up.
That's twice now that Ohio Northern kind of what we used to call a little bit of a head turner, and they were able to make a cut to the basket for a wide open look.
Ruane back into the ball game for ONU along with Abby Dixon and also Grace Dean. So a new five on the floor as Heidelberg will bring on Ashley Ballard. Had those 3 points in the first half. And I said if you get Chloe Gilbert going, she had 25 against Bluffton. She can be a difference maker. Shot missed left. Dean with a nice rebound. Akamine for three. Long and a box out that Ruane tried to go front, and I thought Altenberger did a good job to sort of sidestep her.
No, absolutely.
There's another three.
Quick shot, yeah.
It's a rainbow from Ashley Ballard. She was 3 of 10 coming in from outside, but she's able to drop one down like she's playing at Centerville again.
They moved it up pretty quick up the side of the floor, and then they got that first kick out for that shot.
Northern works into the corner behind Ruane. Hit that big three early on and has got 7. Akamine, a little tentative dribble, pulls up from a low block, back rim. Ashley Ballard with a rebound. I laugh because a beautifully executed throw to Carter.
Yeah, Coach Hillsman's going to call a timeout on that one.
Lead cut to 8 at 38-30. It's a 30-second timeout, and we'll just stay here for a second because I kind of want to expound on how this has gone this run, and it's kind of been that way in this series where, yes, Northern's won 10 in a row. They've been able to win these games big, but in each of the games last year, the one here and the one in Tiffin, they had to survive big runs, and it's a team that's shooting the ball much better. They must have taken Charles Barkley's advice. It's just easy to put a ball in.
That's right.
Everybody else just kind of laughed. Shaq said, no, I don't think that's true at all, but he's much better at shooting than he was Christmas cookies.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're able to weather these runs. And is that a good timeout if you're Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. Basketball is a game of runs, and you got to expect that when you're up, and you got to know that when you're down, and you just got to keep playing through it. But this is an excellent timeout for Coach Hillsman.
Speaking of, up in Tiffin right now, it was 39-37 Heidelberg in the men's game at the half, and a 6-0 run for the Berg behind 12 points from Eric Panning and Zane Lightwing with 10. Northern, the men, not shooting horribly right now. The main key that's kept them in that game is the fact that they're 6 of 11 from 3 and 9 of 9 from the line. Something the women would like to have sneak back down the highway here in the next 20 minutes.
And Lightwing can shoot it, so you got to watch that. You got to make sure you crowd the three on him.
Serban will inbound again, 995 points for her career. Cheyenne Bean went to check in. She said, Coach, I thought you told me I could go. I love it. Just kind of laughed, turned back to her coach. I don't understand what happened here.
I had a player do that in the state championship game. It was, I think the moment got him a little bit.
That's it. I don't know what happened here. Oh, it's a technical foul.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? They blew the horn! They blew the horn!
This is, agree or not agree? I mean, from a coaching perspective, obviously you disagree.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're explaining to her, but she kind of voiced her opinion on that.
I will say, though, that Coach Meese, the guy behind me said the exact same thing she just said. I read her mouth.
We can't say it.
So Serban at the free throw line, up and good. 996 now in her career. And
I think the argument was that they blew the horn.
Yeah, I think that there was, and then there was something about a cow, and I don't even know.
Something in the pasture?
Yeah. Something about that.
Something in the pasture.
Cheyenne Bean got asked, are you coming in now? The official. That's a fascinating sort of thing on his part about whether or not that happens. But that's such an odd thing where I get the rule, but it wasn't, she was having a conversation with her coach and she just made an honest mistake.
Yeah, she was a little bit in a hurry, but, it's...
So
I think the thing that I think Coach Meese was really upset with is that they blew the horn.
Nice drive by Abby Dixon. It'll be on Ashley Ballard.
I think Dixon did a great job in the John Carroll game. Very under control. A lot of the things I think Ohio Northern does is they're real deliberate offensively. They know what they want to get. They know who they are. They know who's guarding them. They know who their teammates are.
Brooke Allen with an easy rebound. Bean closes late. Allen goes ahead and takes two more. She's got 4 in the quarter and 6 overall in Northern now. After surviving what was an 8-point run, have gone on a 5 run themselves.
That's why it was a good timeout.
It worked out. He's been around. He knows a couple things. In his 4th year as a head coach, 51 wins. Have come and quickly gone into his column as a shot for 3 from the corner, up and good for Carter. She's got all 7 in this period. And Northern, again, with a chance to get Bryn Serban into the record books. You can know she's feeling it. Dribble drive to her left and on the fake. Wanted to go a little give and go to Soprano to get her open on the wing. Soprano will just take it herself, but a shot blocked at the last second. And who is it again? It's Smith, like I said earlier. Paying big dividends.
When Serban's in the corner, they can't help off Serban, and that's why the driving lane's open.
So the first part of this quarter has come up and gone. It has gone back and forth on the runs. Bean looked inside, set a screen with Smith coming. Her shot high. Chloe Glenn partially altered it. Polar Bears will bring it back across with Serban. I just have a feeling that she's got to be amped up right now because that she knows where she's at, and after that first timeout, a media timeout. So 43-33 will take this one along with them, and a 30-second break with the Polar Bears back on top of the First National Bank scoreboard by 10 here on NK Telco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
10-point lead for the Ohio Northern women. Teams will meet again in Tiffin on January the 31st. Polar Bears lead the all-time series 60-26, including a 32-11 advantage here off of wins 67-31 at home and 63-47 on the road. But I talked about what Northern has coming up. You look on the other side for the Student Princes. They go home for Otterbein on Saturday, at Muskego on the 16th, before their holiday break is a little bit different than what Northern has in Las Vegas. They go to Delaware to play games against Albion and Ohio Wesleyan. on the 29th and the 31st. And how hard is it with the way that college basketball is set up to kind of, you want to give your kids a break. You want them to be around their family for the holidays, but also concentrate on what we have in front of us.
Yeah, and they'll get a little bit of a break, but when you go to Las Vegas, you got to be usually back on by the 26th. But it's always a nice breather to get away from OAC play.
And the snow. It's also that. It's a scoop shot underneath, missed. Allen comes back with a rebound, and Bean ends up keeping it in play for Heidelberg. Here they come, racing behind Jewel Persinger.
If Dean would get a little bit more of a post touch, as what we used to say, double Barry down low, she gets off that block. She's got to seal that block a little bit lower.
Tell you what, though, I've seen her improve from her freshman year.
That's a good kick
Lima
out.
Senior.
Yep.
So it fired right back through her, and Soprano with the take back the other way. Here comes Ohio Northern. Serban trying to spin from the high elbow, working on just 3 more points for 1,000, and the ball to the floor. Will come back to ONU as they make a substitution. In will come Layla Dials along with Akamine and Peyton Warnicki. So with Peyton Warnicki checking in, the young lady who played some of her tournament in her high school career here on this floor. I was here for it. It happened. It's a pretty good run in the districts is now Serban looking for 1,000. 3 ball off line left.
She did a great job reading that. Go under that screen, and she's going to step back, and she's going to shoot that 3. She does a great job of reading where the defender's going on the ball screen.
And you kind of look at, again, what she's done in threes in her career. I mean, she came in 10 of 35, not afraid to take that deep shot.
No, and when they're trailing her, she takes it pretty hard to the basket.
Akamine with the hand check foul. So that'll be the first of this sequence on Abby. 3:10 to go. Cheyenne Bean, there's the horn. Checks in with no problem this time.
On for number 24.
We talk about Coach Hillsman, been around a little bit. He played actually for Wittenberg for a national championship. They actually were runner-up, played with one of my high school players, Kenny Brady.
He says he wasn't any good when I asked
him. He's a banger. He come in, he was a banger down low on the boards.
Mark says he wasn't any good at sports, so he became a coach.
Yeah, well, Mark, he likes to downplay that a little bit, but he was a banger down low on the block.
3 from straight away. B-I-N-G-O for Alicia Carter, the class valedictorian at Calvary Christian High School in Bellefontaine, or it's Bellefontaine if you spell it out. It's having a monster quarter.
See, they run that little curl cut off of that screen at the elbow.
There's Serban, and there's 1,000 for her career, and that is good enough to become the 17th player in ONU history to have that happen. 46-36 now as she buries the triple.
It couldn't happen at a better time.
Big congratulations to her, too, by the way.
She's a hard worker. She's in the gym a lot.
Now it's just about winning the game at this point. You got it out of the way. Ball tapped down. Akamine to the ground. Here comes Northern on the running game. Out ahead. Brooke Allen
Good
to
pass.
Peyton. Peyton on the travel. No. Serban with a rebound. Kick back out. That won't go either, but she creates another opportunity. And again, I realize we were talking about the score, we were talking about Bryn Serban, but she does so many little things. I mean, she kept that possession alive. Peyton Warnicki wasn't able to get the ball, but that would have given Northern, their 4th opportunity on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of little things you can do in the game of basketball other than scoring that mean a lot.
And at 49 to go, what has been a much more productive quarter. Now 18 points already for the Berg.
See, she drove the naked post there. The post was wide open. She drove it.
Bean with a great pass into the
inside
corner.
out.
And a white-hot Alicia Carter has all 13 of her points in this period. Her team has 21. She has 13 of them. Give me the ball. Screen for Serban and a handoff. Well, Allen went to do it. Had to go to Peyton Warnicki instead. Shot clock running down on the drive and a little head fake. Much better defense inside this time around.
Post feed.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, there's where it was it got kicked out, and that's why Allen could seal a little bit lower. That was a great low seal, as we used to say. She double buried the post.
Inside is Cheyenne Meehan, and speaking of doubles, she's going to be fouled at 54.9. The third foul of the quarter. So that'll bring back in Noelle Ruane and Chloe Glenn for ONU, along with Abby Dixon.
Seems like there's always been a response when Heidelberg tries to claw their way back into this. Northern responds.
54.9 in the quarter, and high on that little screen to the corner for Ballard.
See how high she's way off the block.
So right off the fingers and the hand. Guy behind me thought it was a good pass. This unfortunately didn't lead to anything. So Wayne out high for Akamine.
A little staggered away.
Bears trying to create something. Yeah. Akamine on the pull-up and fouled. I would believe that that's going to be on Joel Persier. It's a freshman. She's got a bright career, though.
When Allen's out, Ohio Northern's a little more side to side, a little more let's drive the basketball, drive the lanes, and then if we got that, we take the shot. If not, we kick out.
Akamine, feet together, free throw away, and good. She goes up on the toes, and her soles of her shoes on the inside are pretty much touching. Second one off the corner of the rim and out of bounds off of Heidelberg.
I don't think, not very happy with that, Coach.
I'm actually playing a game right now called Who's More Unhappy, Coach or the guy behind her? The answer is yes.
That's right. That's 6 one way, half a dozen the next, I believe.
So they had mistakenly reset the shot clock to 30. But as it is essentially one of those dead ball non-rebounds.
There was a down screen into a staggered screen on that inbound play. Akamine's going to make the drive here.
She gets so quick down. Ruane for three. That looked good from here. Chloe Glenn with the rebound, dribbled it off her foot. Talked to her mom at the half, said she's not feeling well. But she's playing well defensively, especially against Cheyenne Bean.
Yep.
Inside on the low block, Layla Dials.
It was a great little flex cut. She made a nice cut, took her high on the screen and kind of went low, and she got a good look at the basket.
I have the good fortune of the replay essentially in front of me, and I thought it was a foul. It's a free throw. It's a miss for Dials. The gentleman said you had that one saved for the ride home, but you decided to use it now.
Yeah.
1 out of 2. At least he's creative. Final 5 seconds of the quarter, and now here comes Chloe Gilbert. Gilbert to the right side. Ballard with one hand nearly banked it in. We go to the fourth. Ohio Northern with a 50-39 lead. We'll talk about it coming up here for quarter number 4 on the First National Bank scoreboard. Bears lead by 11 on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Start at quarter number 4. Ohio Northern with a 50-39 lead. It's not going to get any easier in this quarter. Got a terrific scoring quarter, though. 21 points for Heidelberg. They actually outscore Ohio Northern 21-17 in that quarter. Some things both coaches obviously will work on going forward, but not a bad quarter offensively for either side.
No. Every time Northern would make a run, or Heidelberg would make that run, Ohio Northern would respond.
Neither coach is happy right this second, though. So got to drive back to Tiffin. There's no good way to get from here to there. Northern with the basketball, 9.5 minutes in this quarter. The fourth quarter of the first meeting between these two. The second on January the 31st. Allen, what a great two-hand toss.
It was a good feed because she took it a couple dribbles baseline to get the better passing angle. That they didn't do that quite at John Carroll. They kind of were trying to make a pass from the elbow to that post. That time she did a great job with a rip and drive baseline and got a better passing angle.
And one of those kickballs, I'm actually glad that Layla Dials is okay because she had to stretch a long way to make that work. So Heidelberg will inbound with Emakito underneath their own basket as we look at the third quarter stats here in a second. A little Emakito, she had 12 varsity letters. It was a class valedictorian at Southeast High School in Ravenna. 12 varsity letters, which would be impressive.
That's pretty good.
If she didn't have a teammate that had 14. Bean on the high take. She was a part of the bowling team at Lima Senior. Oh yeah, and also she played 4 sports for the Lima Senior Spartans. That's a busy career.
Yeah, that's real busy. I've had a few players that did that in high school.
I played one and I played it poorly. Akamine hit the spin button. That's a shame that doesn't go in. That'd be one of the highlights of this game. She finds a new way to do that all the time. I just get dizzy. Deep triple. Emakito, if you talk about her, she'll make it happen, apparently. Made it rain. I do not know the area code in Ravenna, but the valedictorian probably does, and she's able to make a long triple. It's kind of a settle thing, though, defensively. If you're going to take that shot, we're going to let you. I mean, you can't guard that far out, can you?
No, and at that time, Northern right there was looking for a back door. They didn't get it.
And a hip check, foul on Alicia Carter. That'll be her first.
Now with Allen back in for Ohio Northern, they're going to now try to probably go back to a little bit more inside-out basketball.
Everybody gets a chance. Morgan Altenberger back in. She'll make her dad happy. Serban, oh, she had to look. It hit the bottom. Isn't that out? Hit the underneath the bottom of the basket on the other side. Heidelberg came back the other way. I'm going to guess no. Here comes Allen again, or here comes Serban again, the newly 1,000-point scorer. On a little dribble drive, kicks back out.
Real good transition defense by Heidelberg there.
Comes Brooke Allen through 2 different defenders, missed, got her own rebound. And I'm going to fight till I can't fight no more. Foul will be on Ashley Ballard. That'll be her third.
Plays number 15, Ashley Ballard. That's her third. Let's go. Get out.
So 1-4 look out of bounds.
Bean got a second to sit down. Now she'll have to come back in. Akamine on the dribble drive with the left hand. Too smooth up and in. She's having a game. She's got 12.
Yeah. There was a low post player, and she could sweep and drive that opposite block.
Triple again.
Every time there's an answer.
How you doing? This one is Ashley Ballard. That's her second triple of the game, and it's the 4th of the half. Keeping her team in play with a 9-point disadvantage with 7 minutes to go. Allen, beautiful move, but just too high. Didn't hit the backboard where it needed to go. Heidelberg is going to just continue to shoot from deep. They can do some things. 8-point advantage for the Heidelberg men over Ohio Northern right now with about 6 minutes to go up in Tiffin in the half.
Inside out, she looks for the drive. Running out of shot clock time. Northern did a cheat. And that was a great defensive series for Northern. Well-contested shot that just, she knocked it down.
First 2 points for Chloe Gilbert out of Highland, Michigan. She originally went to Oakland Community College after a couple of all Michigans. You can't stop driving left with a flip shot from Serban. That is just a ridiculous play. Now her 16th point of the game. And
wow.
This is a little bit demolition derby and a little bit of a track meet.
Yep.
Bean will re-enter with Chloe Glenn and Mackenzie Soprano on the other side.
I think he's a little upset with the timing of the whistle on the call.
All right.
A little staggered screen away. That was a nice.
Soprano for three. I don't think that hit the rim. But they reset the clock. The shot clock got reset.
You have to box out.
Okay, so, well, no, I don't know that they got that right, though, because Heidelberg never touched it to reestablish possession.
Right.
Chloe Glenn inside for her first two. Watched her become an all-WBL pick at Heidelberg-Glendorf. She had about 20 points and 9 rebounds in her first 4 games of her junior year before she ended up messing up her knee. You see the heavy brace there, but was still voted a first-team all-WBL pick. Had a great box out.
Yes, she did. She had a great position. Unfortunately, we had a missed block out for an offensive rebound for Heidelberg.
Layla Dials back in. Savvy Akamine again, and talked about the game that she's having.
She's got really good body control on the drive.
And a turnover on the travel. Well, coming into today, Abby Akamine's career high was 14. Pretty sure she's within striking distance of that. She's got 10 in this ball game. Serban. And Chloe Glenn playing a game up top with Noelle Ruane.
Yep.
Ruane off a great screen for Serban. Now a little fallback shot.
She hits the wing, goes down, and she sets a screen, and then Bryn gets a screen.
Needed 14 for 1,000. She's got 18. And most importantly, Ohio Northern with a 13-point advantage on the scoreboard.
That's one of them where the screener's the one that's going to be open for the shot.
Also, it's a big thank you to your teammates that they're able to create that kind of shot.
Absolutely.
Here's another three. Late on the bank. Ball rolls down. Glenn with a rebound. And fouls. They are plentiful. They're giving them out like it's still Halloween here.
Yeah.
You get a foul. You get a foul. It's like Oprah's the referee tonight. That foul will be on Emma Quito. Will stay here in Ada and look at kind of how this game has come to be. You look at the end of the third quarter stats. Northern was shooting 19 of 53. Heidelberg was shooting 14 of 33. Can you ever wear yourself out, though, by taking that shot? Because you guys had talked about off the air before we went on about having Northern did not have a great three-point day despite the win on Saturday. 3 for 16 is not exactly better.
No, not at all. And you know, when they can establish an inside-out kind of shot for a three, it's always a better look, and your feet are always set in a better position. And I think that's kind of what they got to establish a little bit more. They do a lot of staggered screens, but I think Serban does a great job of reading the ball screen, though. You know, when her player goes under the screen, she does a great job to know to refuse it sometimes and take that three. And when they go over the screen, she really turns the corner. But
that first half performance for Noelle Ruane, by the way, with 7 points, actually ends up being her career high. Her previous career high was 6. Through last year, and I was here for that game, and she had just a terrific game. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't realize in the second game against Anderson this year she had 8, so she's 1 off of it. That's what happens. You got to read the entire bio. You get fooled that way. So they've got a poster now that they are using in the student section.
Is it? Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, it's got to be. Ruane looks inside, comes back up to Chloe Glenn. Hit a couple of threes in her career at OG. Her head coach and Troy Yant sitting behind us will probably like a couple more. Feed inside. Glenn goes to the basket. Tough move for 2.
I tell you, you can tell Coach Hillsman was a post player in college. They do a great job of sealing.
Well, he's tall too, so that helps. So he obviously coached the post for years.
Yeah.
When Michelle Duran was the head coach here. 62-47. Did a lot of recruiting too.
Yeah.
A lot of hands-on with these girls. Dwayne, tough defense, forces the ball inside for Altenberger. Thrown away, and down to 2, down to 1. And I believe it's the 5th or 6th shot clock violation we've had combined in this game.
We're talking about Coach Hillsman for a minute. He had a drill that he got from Wittenberg that I took from him. It was called body up the close-in shooter, and it was a great body up drill for the posts.
When you steal things, when you homage things like that, do you name them where you got it from? Because a lot of coaches will do that.
Yeah.
So remember, who do we steal it from?
Yeah.
Allen inside, tough left hand off the glass. Bean did a good job of shading her, now not letting her get a natural shot, but Brooke Allen said, this is my second half. She's got 10 and a half and 12 overall, and you feel, or do you feel, I guess, that maybe Northern is just wearing the Berg down right now? Another triple off the front. There's another rebound for Bryn Servin. Servin will lead her team down to the final 3 minutes.
Very patient on that.
You can just tell, you got to feel like she has fun playing college basketball. Out of the Pittsburgh area, maybe she's just happy to get out of Pittsburgh.
To go back to what you were saying about naming the drill, I was at a coach's clinic one, and coach got up and said, even if you didn't get it from like Michigan State, name it that, and your high school players all think it's really good.
Right. Doesn't make it seem smarter. Servin on the run, a tough shot. Smith with the rebound, had 4 points in the first half, and a couple of rebounds and a steal. Now she'll try herself with the show 'em the ball trick. Deep three straight away. Just through the back room, won't go down for Carter, who had that 3 triple performance in the third, and actually tied her team high for made threes in a game this year.
You can see Ohio Northern now very deliberate.
Servin for 3. Either not long enough or too short, one of the two. 2:25 to go. Bears with a 64-47 lead. Setting at 2 and 3 on the year, and a mistake. With 2:18 to go, and Mike Miller yelling about wholesale changes, including for the first time Riley Heitkamp, and one of my favorite players and one of my favorite high school coaches, Riley Heitkamp, who played at Fort Loramie High School down I-75 in Shelby County. I was going to say depending on which way you go.
Right.
But had a terrific high school career. Part of a Polar Bear track and field team, too, as well, that went to the indoor and outdoor championships. Now, here's a 3 from the right side. That one up and down for Ada High School's Courtney Sumner. Another 1,000-point scorer and an All-Ohioan. Oh, by the way, she's also just down the road when she wants to take mom her laundry. Back door to Sumner. Too strong. Warnicki with a rebound. She'll go to the line with the and one. Peyton, who's averaging .6 a game, will try to improve on her 50% from the line. And the coaches next to me, they are not happy.
No. I was John Carroll. Courtney Sumner did a great job with that back door Saturday. And once again, she does a great job of setting them up high and cutting low.
Peyton Warnicki and I have something in common. Neither one of us are a fan of Starbucks. A left-handed shot. Just my wife's a huge fan. Just doesn't cost too much. I don't like coffee. 1.5 minutes to go. Ball spun away. Grace Dean, if she had seen it, would have had a shot. Smith with a little right-handed floater. Nope. Peyton Warnicki with a rebound. And it is tied up. Possession arrow will be Polar Bear basketball. So 66-47. Look at the rest of the schedule. We've got number 23, Marietta, coming in here on Saturday. You can watch that game as well before the Bears head off to Las Vegas. Sumner high off the glass. That's a shame. 2 straight times she's had that now.
It was a nice high off the glass as well. Just a little short.
Nobody out to help.
They always talk about inside of the top box in the corner is what you're aiming for.
Northern still looking for Sumner out on the run with a one-on-one. Great ball fake up with a lefty take. Came back to her. Everything is going her way right now.
Moves look good. She's going to finish.
Heitkamp for 3. No. Yeah, Northern looking for something. Heidelberg's trying to call a timeout. There's one problem. They don't have the basketball.
Black time.
Now they get it. We'll stay here with 38 seconds go. Now, again, the fans for Heidelberg are not happy, but I don't feel like when she tried to call a timeout, anybody had actual possession of the basketball.
Yeah. I was saying before, Courtney Sumner does a great job of setting. When she looks for that backdoor cut, she does a great job of setting them up high and then capturing, the basket. And that's the key. If you know you're going to make that cut, you make a flat cut without a V cut, and then you go backdoor. And she does a great job of selling that and setting that up. And then, of course, that Euro step was pretty good, too. We always talked about the top. You got to get it off that inside of that triangle right there.
Sumner, the all-time leading scorer at Ada High School. 1,370 points, had 28 on her senior night, just to try to punctuate the Bulldogs. She got her first 2 points of her career against John Carroll, looking for her first 2 here. And it's a name, if you're familiar with Ohio Northern Wrestling, you know. Her brother was an All-American, finished 5th at the National Championships. Shout out to her brother Chase. Here's Heitkamp with a throw over the top for Benjamin with 30 seconds. This is a weird thing, though, I would think. Sumner in the corner. If you're Northern, you don't need the points, but you would like to have a nice little bow for one of your players who works hard in practice.
Sure. And this might be it right here with this baseline out of bounds.
I think it's also different, though, too, because you have to play it. I mean, it's not like high school where you can kill the clock because you have the shot clock. So potentially the final moments of this ball game, 66-47. ONU weathers that big run of 21 points in the third. Trying to get over to Ballard, her triple back line, and nobody's made a shot for about 5 minutes. And Ohio Northern comes away to get to 500 with a 66-47 win. We'll tell you about how this game comes to be when we come back here to Ada on NK Telco Sports.
First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course. It's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
So back here one final time inside the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. Do you ever get confused? Because, I mean, Campoli Court, the Sports Center, Kinghorn, you just say, look, I'm just going to the basketball gym.
Yeah, I got a great story for you about Campoli Court. So the late, great Joe Campoli, who I had the pleasure to be a mentor to me at times and also a really good friend, he tried to get in the Sports Center, and they were checking IDs, and he didn't have an ID at the time, and they didn't allow him in Kinghorn. And he was like, he told me, Benz, my name was on the court, and I couldn't get in. So we got him an ID. So he was good from that point out.
Which is great until he leaves it in a car and he loses it.
I just can't
imagine that. We're just not going to let you in, sir. Could you just go look at the court? I might be there.
Yeah.
You look at the way this game comes to be. Northern leads 21-11 after one. They pushed that lead to 33-18 at the break. 50-39 after three. 66-47 to pick up the win. But as you kind of look at this one, what most sticks out to you, or what's most important, whether positive or negative, for Northern to take going forward?
Well, the negative would be, of course, allowing some runs to let Heidelberg stay in it. But on the flip side of that, then that was the positive as well, because they answered those runs. And basketball is a game of runs. Those runs are going to happen. And each time Heidelberg made one of those runs, Ohio Northern answered those runs. And I think that was a very key part of the basketball game. And Ohio Northern did a great job of sticking to what they do offensively. Defensively, once again, really active and kind of muddying up the lanes a little bit, like we used to call it, just crowded the floor. And did a great job again late in the game when they did get the lead, being very deliberate and patient with their offense, not trying to get a quick shot.
Great Lake Health Systems postgame stats. Ohio Northern again now 3-3 on the season. They shot 27 of 76 in this game. I'm just trying to let that sink in.
I know.
They took 76 shots. You missed almost 50 shots, and you won the game by 19.
Yeah.
Basketball is a stupid game sometimes. 3 of 20 from 3, 9 of 14 from the line. Led in scoring by Bryn Servin with 18. Abby Akamine with 12. Brooke Allen with 12. So Akamine does end up breaking her career high. Northern shot 9 of 20 in the first quarter. 8 of 23 in the fourth quarter to finish again, like I said, 27 of 76. I'm still blown away by it. 17 of 46 for Heidelberg. They go 9 of 25 from outside. Alicia Carter got hot in the third quarter. Ends up with a team high 13. Locally, Cheyenne Bean ends up with 3 total points and also 5 rebounds. 1 of 6. She has 4 assists, and I can't state how important that is. She and Bryn Servin have 4 assists in this game for Heidelberg and ONU respectively, but how different their games are to be able to, like you talked about, the importance of working outside in and conversely with Bean working inside out.
Yep. Yeah. I'd like to see her get a little more deeper on her posts. She gets kind of pushed out, and I think the deeper she would get, and we used to always call it double varium, if you get deeper, you're going to have a better opportunity, especially with her size.
The OG.
You talk about all the shots taken, and we mentioned Coach Campoli. He used to always say, if a team shoots 40% from the field, everybody's excited because it was good shooting night. But there's 60% of rebounds out there then, and he used to harp on that all the time. There's 60% of rebounds out there.
A couple of big things, too, from coaching perspective. ONU has a 20-0 lead off points from turnovers, 46-12 in the paint, 15-2 on second chance. They do get outscored on the bench, 18-16, but you look at their scoring. Peyton Warnke has 2, as do Grace Dean, Mackenzie Soprano, 4 from Chloe Glenn, despite the fact that she's apparently under the weather. Abby Dixon with 1, and 12 from Akamine, 6 from Dials, 18 from Servin, and 12 from Allen. Look at the line for Servin. On the night that she breaks 1,000 points in her career, she goes 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Pretty much a normal night for her, and that's what ONU is going to need from the reigning Conference Player of the Year going forward, especially on Saturday.
Yeah, and absolutely. What she's doing a great job of right now is when she has it, when she does it, and when she's created for her teammates. And she recognizes that, and I think that's a big key of their success.
Big thanks to the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza, along with Precision Strip and Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco for helping us bring you collegiate basketball here. We've got more of it again on Saturday here from whatever you want to call this beautiful gymnasium. Big thanks to our cameraman and Jim Miller, Mark Fissel, and Josh Miller, along with our assistant director and Jeff Henshin, and our director, the man who wears all the hats. He won't let us have them because he needs all the hats, and Austin Ambergy. For Rich Bensman and Mike Kern, it's a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You too, Mike.
That's what we have here for tonight. A 66-47 win for the Polar Bears as they get to 500. Now, most importantly, 2-0 in OAC play. Thank you for watching NK Telco Sports. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here in Ada at NK Telco Sports.